All right, what's up, mga brosis? Magandang gabi po sa ating lahat and welcome po to the Daily Bro. Yan, ito po ay every day from Monday to Friday, 8:30 p.m. So if you're watching right now, I appreciate you watching and thank you for being here, to be honest with you. And I appreciate your presence as well, being here, And just a quick shout out to everybody that's watching on Facebook, of course, through the Profit Partners International page. If y'all can just go ahead and help me out by kind of by sharing this, right? Not kind of. Go ahead and share it, please. I'd appreciate that. Share it on your page, on your profile. Share it on your friends' profiles, share it on your group chats and things like that. We are also live on YouTube through my YouTube channel. So if you want to watch there as well, that's totally fine. No problem. 100%. All right. So welcome to the Thursday edition of the Daily Bro, which is the Trade Tools Thursday. It's kind of a tongue twister, no? Trade Tools Thursday. Sometimes you have to Trade Tools Thursday. Yeah. So thank you so much for hopping on, and we're gonna have some fun. But on a more serious note, we really have to talk about the tools of the trade, right? And today, I really don't want to kind of talk about finding a client and things like that, like I've always been known to. Alam niyo naman, kilala ko sa industriya natin by, just being an expert in client acquisition, an expert in looking for clients, looking for jobs, getting hired, and things like that. Even in my own virtual freelance business, that's what I'm known for in my world. One of the very few Asians that can do that. That can compete with the Westerners when it comes to acquiring clients to pay a hefty amount to find a solution to their problem. So yeah, but now I really kind of want to talk about what happens after, like not what happens if you don't get hired, but what happens if you get hired. What happens if you finally get the big yes, right? What happens if you finally get a client who gets interested in you and just says, you know what, TJ, let's do it. Let's start on Monday. So today I'm going to talk about, or tonight if you're in Manila, today if you're in the United States or on the other side of the planet, we're going to talk about how to onboard a client as a virtual assistant or as a freelancer, whichever. Okay. So, getting hired, grabe, it's hindi dapat yan ina-undermine. Dapat ho yan sineselebrate. Dapat ho yan pinapahalagahan. If you get hired, dapat yan chine-cherish, right? But the truth is, the real work begins when you onboard the client. That's where it really happens. And no, I'm not really talking about, sending a quit. Hey, thank you. Hey, appreciate it. Hey, excited to be part of your team, right? And kind of wait for instructions like a lost puppy, right? So today on the Trade Tools Thursday, we're not going to play guessing games when it comes to onboarding and getting hired. So I'm going to try my best to walk you through how we properly onboard a client like someone who knows what they're doing, right? Pero itong katotohanan, mga brosis, no? If you can't really set the tone, and listen to me very carefully, if you cannot set the tone in the first 3 days of your work, remember, Marami pong trabaho dyan, especially executive virtual assistant jobs and other jobs na hindi necessarily kailangan bantayan ng kliyente. A lot of times, may mga ganong trabaho na hindi masyadong clear ang mga tasks, hindi masyadong clear ang mga kailangan gawin. So on the first 3 days, that's where you set the tone. Right? The rest of the contract, signing the contract, what messenger system or messaging system are we going to use? Are we going to use Slack? Are we going to use WhatsApp? Are we going to things like that? So instead of so you need to kind of get that settled on that first day, or else you might end up confused, and you might end up get ghosted by the client, right? Kasi ang tingin ng client baka, or tingin ng boss hindi naman to yata seryoso sa trabaho niya, right? So mga broses, grab your notes, listen carefully, and let's get you on board ready like a pro. And let's get right to it. So the first step that I would do in onboarding a client is I would set up a proper welcome message. Okay. I would set up a proper, well thought message, mga brosis. Right? So I want to get this really, really into your system, right? I don't care if you send it through Gmail. I don't care if you send it through Facebook Messenger or Slack, but send the message, right? So after you say yes, thank you for the opportunity, iba pa yun. Iba pa yung welcome message na sinasabi ko. So after they say you're hired, after they say you got the job, we're all grown-ups na naman, we're all adults na naman. Of course, some get tired, not yet adults, but for the most part, we're all grown-ups. So we should act like professionals. And essentially, welcome messages should include, a thank you. Thank you for giving me a chance, right? And of course, number 2, confirm the start date. I just to confirm, or just to clarify, right? This is going to be my start date. And number 3, let them know what to expect, right? Do they expect a call from you? Do they expect you to send a follow-up email, right? So kind of a sample copy I have is, number 1, you greet them like, hi, client, right? And you can say, super excited to officially start. Yeah. So this is me. Kung kayo, bahala kayo kung gusto niyo excited, kung gusto niyo mas professional, it's up to you. So just confirming, I'll begin on this said date. I'll send over, a follow-up email or a calendar link so we can schedule kind of a quick kickoff, meeting, a kickoff call. Looking forward to working with you. That's it. Send it. No flashy extra comments or anything like that. Don't make it weird. Just send it out. All right. So send a proper welcome message. Pangalawa, I don't know if you already use this. Some of the virtual assistants might be already using this. I have used this every single time. All right. Every single time. Even now, sa Luna Virtual Partners, I send this out just to make sure that everything is clear, every expectation is set, and every goal is kind of not blurred or not really targeted well, if that makes sense. So I send a simple intake form, right? Ano ba ang intake form? So kasi ang madalas na nangyayari di ba magme-message, oh hey TJ, just I was just wondering if you can send me the logins. And then after an hour, oh okay, I'm sorry, just another thing. I was wondering if what's the best contact number to reach you, in case. Oh, I was just wondering if what task. So there's a lot of back and forth that can happen, you know, and that can be annoying. So instead of sending 12 messages asking for logins, asking for, preferences and things like that, you make a form. Yeah. Just make a form. It could be Notion, it could be type form. I don't really care. It doesn't really matter, right? It could be Google form. Yeah. It's really up to you. And you list down the things that you would like to ask, you would like to have, you would like to clear out, you would like to know when you are starting out. Right. Uh, so, you know, just and another thing that I include there is kind of their preferences of the way they work. Right. So I just put there. So what's your like working habit? So how do you work with people? How would you like me to work with you? Or what's the best outcome for us to have a good working relationship? What as far as your expectations are concerned? And you know what? They're gonna type it in. Yeah, TJ. So this is what I want. I want you to clock in. When you clock in, I want you to do this. I want you to message me when you come in. I want you to make sure that all the deliverables are done. I want you to make sure that this, and that. And when you receive the form, lo and behold, hindi mo na kailangan tanungin kung ano pang problema nila or kung ano pang kailangan gawin. You already know what they want. And it doesn't have to be the best, line of questioning in the world. Just enough for you to get your feet wet that first week. Right? So I hope this makes sense. So step 2 yan. Step 3, kick-off call. Kailangan nyo to. Okay. I don't know what you want to call it. You want to call it an onboarding call. You want to call it a start of work call. It doesn't matter. I would call it a kickoff call, right? So because this is very, very important to me as well. So ito ang nagiging madalas na gap between clients and VAs and freelancers, right? Yung just figuring things out by yourself. So you might be tempted to do that, just to figure out, just to kind of test the waters and make a feel for it. Just don't do that, mga roses. That's how red flags are made. That's how problems arise, right? That's how misunderstandings are created, right? And then you get more, and then eventually magugulat na lang kayo, you're being replaced by a more assertive, a more proactive virtual assistant. Okay? So please do a kickoff call. It could be a 15-minute or a 30-minute call, and ask your questions. Ako, the best question, one of the best onboarding questions that I ask is, what does success look like to you in the next 30 days? Just ask that question. Ang dami mong matututunan tungkol kay client. Ang dami nyo matututunan tungkol kay bossing. I promise you that. Isa po question that I like to ask, how do you want updates? Now ako, and my staff knows how I like to be updated, right? So essentially, I'd like to have three things. I like to have an SOD. An SOD is a start of the day, right? Report, or maybe start of the day summary. And then I kind of have like an MDS. An MDS is just a midday report. Like, okay, so this is what I've been doing the last few hours. And then, of course, the end of day, the EOD report. So tatlo lang yan, right? So and this is not for all of my VAs kasi there are VAs kasi na like, for example, my chief of staff, he doesn't really have a start of day, and he doesn't really have an MDS or an EOD, so he can do whatever he wants. But we do type of like a checklist type of elimination of tasks, right? So we have a daily checklist and we have a daily task list that I'm just gonna add there. I'm gonna type it there, and I don't even have to talk to him about it. The only time he would be talking to me about it is when he has a question or he has a problem or he doesn't understand the task, right? So you can do that as well. You can ask your client how do they want to be updated. At maniwala kayo, wala kliyente magsasabing, I don't want you to update me ever. Just don't update me. Like, I just want it done. There's no client. There are no clients that will tell you that, mga brosis. They will tell you their preferences, rather. On the other hand, right, when it comes to getting updated and getting reported. And another thing that I'd like to ask is, are there things that you absolutely dislike? Right? Like, if I do something, if I do something, you'd really don't like that I did that. What are those things? Yeah. And they'll think of things like if a task isn't done, may mga pet peeve yan eh. May mga pet peeve kasi yan, mga brosis. And the earlier you figure out their pet peeve, like TJ, I don't really like being late in weekly check-in meetings or weekly syncs. Oh, check mo na yun. Hindi pwede malate kasi magagalit si bossing. I don't really like long reports. Just give me bulleted reports. So essentially, a kickoff call is very important. So that way you can ask those type of questions. You can ask other questions. There's a GTK thing. Get to know. You can tell them about yourself a little bit, where you live, and things like that if they want to, and they'll probably open up to you as well eventually, right? So yeah, kickoff call, mga brosis. That's very important. And then, of course, pang-apat is the setting up of the tools. So this all happens kasi on the first week, eh. And most of the time this happens on the first 3 days. All right. Do you guys get me? You guys understand what I'm trying to say, huh? This onboarding thing happens either between 3 to 5 days when you start working. So obviously kasama dun yung setting up of the tools. All right. Ang hirap naman kung hindi, no, we'll deal with the tools next week. Paano tayo mag-work? Paano tayo magsisimula? Paano tayo magpapakitang gilas sa ating mga kliyente? Okay? At meron kasi mga VA na okay, sige, next week na lang yan, meron kasi VA na mga tatamad-tamad na ayaw naman talaga. Remember, mga brosis, you got hired for a reason. You got hired to freaking work. Am I making sense here? You got hired to freaking work, right? And the least you can do to be grateful, right? And to not take advantage of that opportunity that was given to you is be proactive. Yeah. So in every client is different, right? Every client is different, but remember, the basics are always the same. Basics are always the same. There's always the things that they don't like about work. The things that how they want to be reported, how they want a report to look like, and these are just the basics. And every single client will appreciate this. So number 4, setting up of the tools. So it could be any kind of, it could be Google Drive, it could be Dropbox, right? Don't wait for them to say, can you upload it here, or can you do it? So just say, are we going to use Google Drive or Dropbox or whichever? Are we going to use Sync? Sync is another one, right? Are we going to use Microsoft to store? Shared Drive by Microsoft, if I'm not mistaken. Isa pa, yung time tracking. Diba? I'm not saying that time tracking like hub staff na mag-send ng screenshots, maybe perhaps like Clockify or maybe yung mga just for the sake of tracking time. No? Para alam nila that you're there and this is what you've been doing. And also project management tools, ang mga sikat ngayon, yung ClickUp, sikat yan, Notion, Asana, sikat pa rin no? Oo. Trello, I love Trello. Gawa ng mga hover. Parang parang puno na, 'di ba, nililipat-lipat lang. Yan ang nagpauso nun, I think. Oh. And of course, yung daily communication. Kaya nga nasabi ko kanina, where are we going to be communicating? Are we going to be communicating mainly through email, WhatsApp? You want Slack and things like that. Or Telegram, whichever. The point here is do not assume, mga brosis. Do not assume. You ask it away and you set it up. Right? Because remember, clarity is always better than ding, 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 confusion. Because confusion kills momentum. So set up the tools. Number 5, of course, is confirm the first week game plan. Confirm the game plan. Confirm you. This is where a lot of new virtual assistants mess up Kaya may mga nababasa ako na nilet go sila ni client kasi akala ni client may ginagawa sila, tapos ito pala si VA nag-aantay pala ng gagawin, hindi naman nagsabi kung anong gagawin, kung anong dapat gawin, hindi naman nagsabi, sasabihin ni VA kung anong dapat gawin, sasabihin naman ni client, hindi ka naman nagtanong kung anong gagawin. So just to prevent that, just confirm everything. Don't just start with no direction. And then pray and hope for the best. Don't wing it, mga brosis. Right? So you message your client. What do you tell your client? Hey, boss, based on what we discussed, right? Ano pa ba? Here's what I'm prioritizing this week. Task 1. I'm gonna clean up the emails. Task 2. I'm going to consolidate all of your calendars and put them together in one just major calendar so we can just put into one calendar. Diba? Task 3. I'm going to I'm going to do this, and that. Let me know if you want me to add or shift anything. At least for the whole week, alam nila kung ano gagawin mo. And then you can put that on that checklist, and then you can put that on that reporting system, that you've established, and end of day, start of day, end of day, midday, and that's it. This actually shows that you listen. This actually shows that you set yourself up for success for that week, right? This actually sets boundaries between you and your client, and of course expectations early in the job as well, right? There's no more, I thought you were working. Why are you not working? Why is there no output? Why is there no output? Okay, that's weird. And then you're gonna say, well, you didn't tell me to, you just told me to clock in. Mga bros, clients don't want you to just clock in and do nothing and then expect them to pay you every Friday. Diba? They might as well just hire a statue. Hello po, right? Yeah. So confirm the first week game plan. And of course, step 6 and the last one, over communicate, then relax, then chill out. You over communicate. For the first few days, that's what I do. I just say, I update more than normally. More than I normally would. I would show progress. I would ask if am I doing the right things? Am I doing the things right? Yeah. Oh. And then because I want to make them feel like, wow, TJ is really on it. Wow, I really made the right decision of hiring TJ. Yeah. Then, of course, once the trust is built and the client trusts you, yeah, then that's when you settle your rhythm. Yeah. But if you sit there and you wait for validation the rest of your shift, and then you go radio silent for the whole day and 2 to 3 days, don't be surprised if they replace you. Ang mga kliyente, mga brosis, hindi naman manghuhula yan eh. Right? Now, maybe TJ is maybe this is what TJ is doing. You know what? Yeah, I know this is what he's doing right now, and I shouldn't bother him. Oh, my gosh. Yeah. Remember, mga brosis, you're not the only virtual assistant in town. You're not the only freelancer in town. So pag nandiyan na tayo, galingan na natin. Pag nandiyan na ho tayo, gandahan na natin ang trabaho. Pag nandiyan na ho tayo, best foot forward na ho tayo. Because we may not be disposable, but we are not indispensable. We can all be replaced. Remember, I always say this, right? Ang mga VAs, they can always be replaced. Hard or easy, and it goes vis-a-vis. Clients can also be replaced. Pero alam nyo, you'd rather just not be replaced because you're there already. So, onboarding. That's very important, mga brosis. Onboarding, that's your first impression, right? That's your system. That's your structure. You're setting up yourself for long-term success. And if you wing it, and if you just, decide what to do at that moment, you'll eventually lose clients before you even send your first invoice. Right? So huwag niyo kalimutan to. You're not just someone who got hired. You should be someone who leads the process. So mga broses, please act like it. All right? So dyan ho nagtatapos ang ating Trade Tools Thursday. Maraming salamat po for showing up. Bago po tayo mag-iwahiwalay, gusto ko sana batiin muna ang ating po mga sponsors. I'd like to thank, of course, Profit Partners International, mga brosis natin dyan. Hello po sa inyo and thank you so much for being here. Yan. And of course, the Atlas Virtual Academy, mga brosis, premium ang mga mentors natin diyan sa Atlas Virtual Academy. These are premium digital marketing VAs. These meron tayong ang nag-head ng ating bookkeeping and accounting VA mentorship program right now is a millionaire VA. All right? Pinost ko na yan sa Facebook nitong kanina. So kilala nyo siya. Yung iba kilala siya, yung iba hindi. Pero he's also a content creator. So probably kilala nyo siya. And he has partnered up with us, right, to teach aspiring virtual bookkeepers, virtual accountants, US and Australia, expert in QuickBooks Online. All right. So, pati social media management. We also have mentorships for that as well. Go Reach Travel Tours. Thank you po. Luna Virtual Partners, of course, ang atin pong agency. And of course, the WOW Podcast. Yung isa po pang podcast for charity and ministry as well. All right. So, mga brosis, thank you so much. That's all I have for today. And I hope you enjoyed our time together. Hanggang dito muna ako. And of course, I will not you